We'll now start the regular press conference by Foreign Minister Motegi. Sorry about the belated start of the conference. From my side, I'd like to talk about the earthquake damage in Indonesia. In Indonesia, in West Sulawesi, on the 15th of January, there was an earthquake. There were many casualties and victims affected, as well as physical damage was caused. With this earthquake, I would like to extend my deepest condolences to those who perished in the earthquake, and I would like to also extend my sympathies to those affected. To Foreign Minister Rutono of Indonesia, I have sent a letter sending my sympathies, and Japan, from a humanitarian viewpoint, as well as in light of the friendly relations between the two countries, we have decided to provide emergency assistance supplies through JICA. We have already told them that we're prepared to provide such supplies. Once we get their request, we would like to make coordination as quickly as possible to send these supplies to Indonesia. That is all from me. Thank you.
Questions, please. If you have a question, when designated, use the microphone stand. Give us your name and affiliation. Any questions? NHK Yamamoto-san. NHK Yamamoto. The day after tomorrow in the Japanese time, Biden administration will be inaugurated. Minister, as a foreign minister, and also as a minister who is in charge of economic revitalization, you were deeply involved with the Trump administration. What's your assessment of 4 years of Trump administration? And with Biden new administration, how do you intend to build a relationship based on trust? U.S.-Japan relations. Trump administration in the past 4 years, based on the trust between the prime ministers and the president, it became stronger than ever. Last year, U.S.-Japan security, the 60th anniversary year, we were able to celebrate that. And the free and open Indo-Pacific to realization, cooperation, the initiatives are now making progress between the U.S. and Japan. U.S.-Japan trade agreement was reached. And to realize free and open Indo-Pacific, November 6th last year, quadrilateral US-Japan, India, Australia foreign ministerial meeting was also held. That's another result. On the other hand, last November, presidential election was held in the United States, and following what unfolded there, the dividing the U.S. society is something we observed. To overcome this divide and uniting the U.S. society is a major issue for the Biden new administration. I strongly hope that the American people under President Biden will be united once again by overcoming difficulties. As Japan, under the new administration of Biden, further strengthen U.S.-Japan alliance and for specific promotion of the free and open Indo-Pacific, we are going to deepen the cooperation. And this time, the international issues that are becoming even more important, measures against COVID-19, climate change, and how to respond to such international societal issues, and also in the areas of coming up with international order in the post-COVID-19, U.S.-Japan should collaborate closely so to exercise leadership.
Next question, please. Mr. Asahari from Pan-Orient News.
Thank you, Mr. There are some reports that the United States is planning to recognize or designate the Houthis group in Yemen as a terrorist organization. What is Japan's position on that? And the situation in Yemen is concerning, has been concerning. What is your policy about that? Thank you.
Now, the U.S. designation of the Houthis as a foreign terrorist organization in Yemen we're closely watching the impact it has on the implementation of humanitarian assistance as well as political solution to the conflict. Peace and stability of Yemen is very important for the peace and stability of the Middle East region as a whole. So at the Japanese government level, we would like to call on all parties involved for an immediate ceasefire as well as an early resumption of dialogue for a political solution.
Next question, please. Any other questions? Sankei, Ishinobe-san. Ishinobe from Sankei. About ROK, Republic of Korea. President Moon Jae-in gave a New Year's press conference to the government of Japan about the ruling to demand compensation. He was puzzled, and also about the lawsuit concerning the former civilian workers demanding the monetization is not desirable. He says that some people are saying that they are becoming softer, but what is your reaction and what is your future approach going forward? About the President Moon Jae-in's press conference, I am of course aware of that. South Korea and Japan are for each other very important neighboring countries. But unfortunately, in the past few years, South Korea broke the international pledge, and also the bilateral agreement has not been fulfilled. That's the situation. Given the circumstances, while South Korea showed a gesture to solve the problems, but that alone would still make it difficult for us to make an assessment. To solve those problems, we would like to look at the specific proposals from South Korea and make an assessment.
Next question, please. From Nikkei, Kato-san. My name is Kato from Nikkei. Japan-ROK relations. Yesterday, in your foreign policy speech, you said that the bilateral relations is in a very difficult state. But at the same time, for denuclearization of North Korea, Japan-Korea, and Japan-Korea, South Korea, and U.S., coordination's importance was also emphasized. Now, the difficult situation continuing between Japan and ROK, what kind of impact will it have on Japan, ROK, and U.S. Security cooperation? Is it having an impact? In my foreign policy speech yesterday, I didn't say difficult situation. A further difficult situation is what I said. An even more difficult situation. Recent bilateral relations. Former civilian workers from the Korean Peninsula issue, as well as the ruling by former comfort women. The relationship is even more difficult today. Now, today's relations between Japan and ROK, it should not have a negative impact on security cooperation between Japan, ROK, and U.S. For stabilization of the region, including North Korea, we would like to have continued cooperation between the three countries. That concludes the press conference for today. Thank you very much.